Well, guys, it's our next podcast. Woo!
We only have 2 more after this one.
Yep, we only got 2 more for this year and then our end of the year podcast.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Jay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I don't know what kind of intro to do for this one, but it's fine. But hey guys, welcome back to the Charming Analysis podcast. And welcome back to our 6th episode of the Christmas Palooza for 2021. So yeah, today on our episode, we decided we're going to talk about the Amazing World of Gumball Christmas special, titled Christmas.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the name of the episode.
Oh.
And we're also going to talk
about
about
literally anything else, what they call the Christmas episode.
Yeah. And we're also going to be talking about another Christmas special called Arthur Christmas.
It's a movie. So
But you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm going to start with the Gumball one because I've seen this one before.
And I haven't.
And this was your first time watching it.
Yeah.
But basically, the episode Christmas is in the second season of Gumball. And it's about Gumball, Darwin, and Anais trying to find this hobo guy that ends up getting run over by his dad.
Is hobo offensive to say?
Huh?
Is hobo offensive to say?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Anyway, he gets run over, they get taken to the hospital, and then they're basically figure out it's Santa, even though their mom, Nicole, doesn't believe it, and Richard's just trying to be on the nice list.
Yeah.
And it's basically them just getting Santa back.
Yes.
And that's
Santa back from his concussion.
Yeah, and that's basically the gist of it.
Yes. You could say what you thought about it first before I do.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead, because you saw it when you were a kid.
Personally, I think it's it's one of the more interesting Christmas specials.
For 11 minutes.
Yeah,
Let's be completely
it's
fair.
a really short special.
It's very short.
But I think it's interesting because it gives a more innocent, like, wacky take on the whole Christmas trope and stuff like that. We get to see, like, how the 3 kids interact with this random stranger, and we get to see Nicole progress about how she went through, like...
She used to believe in Santa, and then she didn't because she didn't get what she wanted, which I can understand completely.
Yep.
I don't know, it's been a long time since I've seen the show. I don't know what the wants and needs of these characters are.
It's been a long time, too. Last time I saw Gumball was, like, season 3.
Oh, God.
And there's, like, 6 seasons, so I haven't seen it in a long time.
So we got a lot catching up to do if we ever do a
We
show.
do plan on actually watching the series, like, next year, so...
Are we?
Yeah, that's
You want to watch the whole 6 seasons?
Jay, come on. We already got a bunch we're going to be doing,
I
so...
know. That's a lot of Gumball.
We'll figure it out.
And, like... okay, wait, you weren't finished, were you?
No.
Okay.
But, it's fun to go back to, like, one of the earlier seasons of Gumball, because I haven't watched it in, like, fucking years. Last time I watched it was, like, when I was, like, I think in high school. Like, it's been a while.
It's been centuries for you.
Not centuries, but it's been a while. So, seeing it does bring a little bit of nostalgia back for me, because I actually did like Gumball when it first came out and stuff. It's just, like, I kind of lost interest after a while.
I think everybody lost interest in the cartoons that they used to see back in the 2010s, and they just went on for very long.
Well, like, Gumball, like, is one of those ones that took a while to, like, make the episodes, because it's basically a mix of, like, cartoon, CGI, and, like, live action. Like, legit. Fun fact, the actual house that they stay in is a real house.
No, I know that.
Like, you could...
Google took the address off because they didn't want the people actually going there.
Yeah.
I think the house is blurred, so you can't go there. No.
Yeah, so, like... But, yeah, it's an actual real house. But... We'll go more into that once we do a podcast on Gumball and once we actually finish watching it. So yeah. So what did you like about the Gumball special? Like, you haven't seen Gumball in a while too.
I haven't seen Gumball in a while, and that's because I grew out of it. Honestly, I was like, when did it come out? 2000 and...
It was in the 2010s, but like late 2010s era.
No, it wasn't late 2010s. It was early 2010s. Because I remember this coming
sure?
out with Adventure Time and regular show.
I thought it came out a little later.
Early 2010s. Early 2010s, like 2011 maybe, or 2012 was when it came out.
Like around then.
Yeah, and that was when. No, it came out. No, I think did it come out before?
It came out after It came out after like Adventure Time and regular show started.
It came out that around that same time, and I got into the first season, and then after that, I kind of like a little bit faltered through that because like I don't know, there was other I faltered with the rest of them because at that time I was just like I don't really care about cartoons, like I just care about. I more care about movies and like, you know, internet and stuff, and I wasn't really watching TV back in the day and like, you know, all that stuff. So, and that's when I just got into Nickelodeon sitcoms and stuff like that. So really I just kind of like I kind of like grew a little bit out of it, and like watching it again, it like brought me a sense of, oh my god, I used to watch this show, Jesus Christ, and now I don't know what the fuck's going on, I guess. But you know, it's fucking a comedy show. I don't think you don't need to really know what's going on.
Yeah.
But
there's not much continuity to it
yeah,
in a sense. But there is some of it, but like not a lot.
No, there isn't.
A little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Anyway.
I'm not really okay, here's a confession. I'm not really a fan of lol humor. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not
either, but Gumball does it in a way like that makes it interesting. They do it in a way that's interesting.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But
for me, it's like I'd rather not see anything like that anymore because it's really been tainted by so much imitation that it's really annoying me now. Like, it annoys me to, I don't know why it does. It just annoys me to an unhealthy degree.
But we can talk more about...
like...
Jay.
But, wait. But I get it. I get that there's an audience for it, and I get that there is still Gumball fans. I get that there's still people who want, like, the show, this type of show, like its humor and stuff like that. It's not for me, and I started to get a little bit more into it in, like, you know, and the last, like, half of it, when they actually,
did something.
Not did something, but I guess, like, I don't know.
After, like, Nicole, like, was saying Santa wasn't real.
Yeah.
That's when it actually started to get good for you.
Yeah, for me, yeah. Kind of a little bit. Because, I don't know. I think even the best comedy Christmas specials have some type of nuance to it. It was still fun. It's just lol humor is not my thing. And maybe that's why I just grew out the show.
Which I can understand. Like, it's not for
really
everybody.
Doing it for me.
Still. Anyway, it's one of those things to where once we watch more of the show, we'll definitely talk about it more because we've only seen... It's been a while since we've seen the show, so it's one of those things to where we might have to just go back and, like, actually, like, you know, watch it again just to see how they did with it. Because it could have been just that one episode, but... So I guess... So your thing you more, like, quote-unquote disliked was the stuff before Nicole started to show her conflict.
Yeah, I thought I was going to roll with the whole big thing of, like, we got like, this man is just, like, you know, has a concussion. We have to take care of him. People think, and then the kids think he's Santa. I'm just like, oh, okay, this is what it's doing. And then it stopped with that plot immediately. And I was like, thank God. Because I was going to be like, plot was not helping at all. It wasn't helping. It wasn't funny to me. And it was just like...
The only part that was funny to me about that whole thing was, like, as soon as, like, the guy said something negative, Anais just started hitting something, and then Darwin started hitting something.
Yeah,
and then Gumball started hitting something, and then the guy hit something.
That's the thing. That's reactionary humor that I love.
I thought was funny, though.
Reactionary humor. I love that humor. It's just the lol humor that leads to nothing. It's just...
I don't think the show is all lol humor.
I know it's not all lol humor. I know it's like, you know, I know it's just weird for the sake of being weird, but, you know, if it leads to nothing, then I don't care. I don't care. Like, what's the point of me watching it? Like, I don't care. I could just go watch something else if it has a purpose to it. I don't know. It's complicated. Gumball is a complicated show that I fell out of probably for a reason. And when I watch it again as an adult, I'm probably going to have the same mixed reactions to it.
Probably, but anyway. So I guess I have a feeling you wouldn't watch this again. I already have a feeling.
Not really.
You wouldn't watch it again?
Oh, fuck no. I wouldn't watch it compared to other Christmas specials. Nah. I wouldn't watch it. Trust me, I'm sure there's like other Christmas specials that are way funnier than this.
Like, I agree with you on that. I probably would only watch it once in a blue moon. Like, it's one of those specials to where I feel like you could watch it like two or three times and just be like, okay, I'm good, kind of thing. But, let's give our rating for this, and then
this one episode of Gumball.
For this one episode, well, the Christmas special, and then we'll talk about Arthur Christmas. So,
okay. Well, let me give my rating first because it's really easy for me.
All right.
I give it a 5 out of 10.
You get a 5 out of 10?
Yes.
5 out of 10. Wouldn't
because
watch
it's
it
half,
again.
half and half. One part I didn't like, and the other part I did like. So there, half and half. There we go.
Yeah. So for me, I give it like a 5 out of 10 as well. Like it's like I'm indifferent about it. Like it's not bad, but at the same time, like I feel like they could have done more with it. Instead of just doing like half of like an episode, they should have just done like a 30-minute special instead of like doing like just an episode in quotes. You know what I mean? Because to me, I thought they could have done a little bit better with it, but I understand it's one episode, but you shouldn't just let one episode, like, judge the whole entire series.
I'm not doing that.
I know, I'm just saying, like, but personally for me, I probably wouldn't watch it again. I would probably go back to it every now and then, but I don't think I would go back to it as often as, like, other ones, but it's still an interesting one to watch if you're looking for, like, something interesting that you haven't really seen much of. But anyway, that's the Gumball special. So now we're going to talk about Arthur Christmas. So why don't you explain what Arthur Christmas is about, honey? Since you have seen this more than me.
Oh, definitely. I've seen this a lot more than you. You saw it twice.
Yep.
Okay. So this is a movie about a family of Santa Clauses who do their thing every single Christmas, deliver gifts to all over the world. And there's been an error this Christmas, and the child's been missed. And so the current, like, son of Santa, the youngest son of Santa,
Arthur,
goes out on a mission to give this one Christmas present with his great grandfather and a gift wrapping elf.
And also the Santa in this one is named Malcolm.
Wow, that's such a random.
I'm just saying. But if you're trying to tell the difference.
Okay, so
there's great
grandpa Santa.
There's
Malcolm,
grand Santa who's Malcolm.
Grand Santa who's Malcolm.
There's Steve Santa.
There's the brother Steve.
And then there's Arthur.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just trying to say he actually does have a name.
Yes, he does have a name. Because they have to have a name. What are they going to do? Call them like Santas all throughout the movie? I don't think
they could.
No, I don't want that.
Anyway.
Confusing real quickly.
But yeah, it's basically about a thing being missed and Arthur's
we have
doing
to go fix it.
Yeah. Okay, so
you can say your thoughts. Because I got
personally, I think this is a good film. It's a different take on a Christmas film, and it's one of the more modern ones. Even though this came out like 2006, really? Right? When did this come out?
Okay, I was gonna say, really, you think it's a different take? Santa's flying the goddamn Galactica spaceship. But
I'm gonna get to it.
Okay,
I'm just trying to remember what year it was made.
The fuck, 2006?
I thought it was 2006. Why, was it earlier than that?
You are fucking weird.
Anyway,
wow.
This came out like a while ago.
No. What did I tell you before this podcast started?
This was like in 2016.
No.
Just tell me again. I can't remember.
2011.
Oh.
You dodo.
Dang, this is 10 years old?
Yes.
Damn.
That's why,
I'm old.
I grew up with it. And that's why I got some shit to say. So you go ahead.
But yeah, I like this take on, like, the Christmas specials. I thought it was interesting that you basically get to see Santa going all futuristic with this movie going all fucking Galactica, TARDIS kind of shit, and he's basically going into retirement at this point because even though he wants to do it another year, he's old and not decrepit, but like he's very old, and he's getting to a point where it's like he needs to retire. Like, not gonna lie, he needs to fucking retire.
He's old and he's like, I just want to sleep.
Yeah, and like Steve is basically just trying to make everything perfect, but he doesn't really care about the quote unquote children. So I don't know why he wants to become the next Santa.
Because it's a title. It's a title. It's a very important title.
And like, I feel bad that Arthur didn't really get much attention at first from like everybody until like later on, which I can understand because plot device kind of thing. But
it doesn't seem like you don't like this movie that much.
I do like it. It's just like I don't really know what to say about it personally. Like I don't really know what to say much about it. Like,
is it too much sometimes?
No, it's not too much. I just don't really know what to say about it. It's one of those movies that I think is interesting. And I like the take on it. I just don't really know how else to, I guess, phrase it. But you can say your thoughts. Well, I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
You probably have a better thing than me about it, but...
No, because unlike you, I love this movie. I grew up with it. And I can't help but every single year, every time I watch it, I just feel like it has not aged a bit. Like, legit. Even with the movies that I loved the most when I watched as a kid, or even now, I'm just like, that probably is not going to, like, you know, those scenes aren't really going to hit me as hard as when I'm an adult, or these scenes aren't going to, like, you know, they're not going to grab me and I'm going to get bored. But no, I don't feel that for this movie at all. In fact, like, it's just this is my Christmas movie. This is my Christmas movie. And I'm not saying it as like one of those weird ones that I watch every year, like Jingle All the Way or Christmas Carol or like Rankin Bass or anything like that. No, this is the perfect Christmas movie for me. This was made for me. And me specifically. You know, the directors thought of me apparently when they were writing this fucking movie. Because guess what? Okay. So with this whole movie about generations of Santas and them doing their own thing in their own way and having their own faults with it, that will never, like, that message in retrospect always is going to get to me and always is going to be relevant no matter where we are or who we are.
Which is true.
Like, that always is going to speak to anyone. So, like, the fact that they, like, have conversations in the movie, because this is a very talkative movie, it's fucking Armin, so of course there's going to be more dialogue than there is physical comedy humor. And that's what they're good at. That's what they're best at, which is why you can easily tell that, like, you know, that, like, it's a very, like, it's an Armin production because they just love to throw in witty dialogue. Is it British? I think it's British.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they just love to throw in witty dialogue. It's just talk. Talk about, like, you know, just talk about, like, you know, who the characters are and what their beliefs are and all of this stuff. And most of the humor comes from the dialogue. And I can see
they're a very dialogue-driven company.
Yes. I can see some people not really liking that because, you know, some people just want to look at the movie. They don't want to, like, you know, hear conversations or anything like that, or they just, like, you know, want some funny shit to happen because it's a fucking kids movie. Like, just make some fucking whack shit, sticky comedy, and a lot of people probably didn't see that movie because they thought it was going to be that movie. But it's not. It really isn't. It's way fucking smart than it has any right to be. Not just the fucking Santa mythos, but I'm talking about just as a Christmas film in general. I didn't expect to, like, tackle the whole subject of generational, like, generational struggles and, like, admiration from a figurehead. Like, as much as this movie does with Santa. Like, it's smart. It's smart in the way that it approaches it. It's smart on just, how, every single person has something to say. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just amazingly written for me.
I agree with you on that one.
And I can't help it. Every single time I listen to the dialogue, I always find something to laugh at because it's just a bunch of old people arguing, and then you have Arthur, who's like the center focus of the movie and is like the most fucking likable main character in the world.
He really
because
is.
He just wants one thing, and that is great. And that greatly contrasts with the other people who just talk to each other throughout the entire fucking movie, and in the center you pretty much have a naive person, and to me that's just the perfect way to write anything. For me, that's just the perfect one of the most perfect ways to write just anything in general. Have a naive character as your main focus, but also have a bunch of things happen to them, whether it be physical or just explanatory comedy. In the end, this is a Christmas comedy. It's a Christmas comedy family drama. That's what this is. And
yes.
it's perfect in that regard. And I will admit, a lot of the stuff is because, fun story, when this came out, it came out in 2011, I believe I was probably 12 years old. Yeah, I think I was 12 years old. And it was just, wow. It was just around middle school, and it was I think it was either the year of or the year after that I was a late bloomer, and my parents told me that there was no Santa because I was stupid.
No, you
I was
weren't.
stupid, and I didn't figure out beforehand, and my parents told me there was no Santa, and for some reason that broke my fucking world, and I did not look at Christmas the same way after that. I didn't. It was kind of hard to take because, you're told this whole thing your whole life that Santa exists and all of this stuff. And it's just well, now I have to look at these Christmas movies in a new light because, where's the magic gone? Where, there's no person that creepily stalks your house and delivers you presents. I thought this was a good world. But it came out around I think the year after my parents told me, and I was just at this point I just went to go see animated films because of more obligation than anything, because I was a certain time when I was just kind of getting out of animation. I just kind of wanted to watch stuff that was made for teenagers or young adults. I was the little fucking weird ass kid who just animation's for babies. So I kind of went to see this out of obligation because, I don't know, I just watched things back in the day, and I was just it's going to be one of the last few movies I see. And I went in there, I didn't expect much, and I ended up, even as a kid, following this movie and loving it. And even though I did not believe in Santa, it just, for some reason, it captured the integrity of Santa so much to me that at that point in time, I was just you know what? I know Santa isn't real.
But you wish he was.
No. But the way that it's probably telling its message to children, to the future generation of people who do believe of the kids who do believe in Santa, that's good for me. That is good for me. So anytime I see a Christmas movie, I hold it up to a standard of which, does it teach the message that it's trying to get across in its own spirit of Christmas? And that's what I get out of Christmas movies now. That was one of the earliest movies to ever do that to me, because I found the message so incredibly strong that it taught me that I can enjoy these Christmas movies without having to feel guilt about like believing in all this stuff. It brought me back to it. It brought me back to when I was it brings me back to when I was a child, but as an adult, it brings me back to when I was a child, but as an adult, I can learn something. I can learn something from it now more than I ever could, because now that I do have the adult knowledge of the inevitable lie that we tell kids, I understand why it's so important. It's so the fact that Arthur finds it so important to just to bring this one toy to this kid. No kid gets left behind because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how the present gets there, who gives the present. It's all about the child. It's all about giving. It's all about caring at the end of the day. It's all about caring. It's all about just, doing the right thing. It captures the spirit of Christmas to where even as an adult, I can't help but smile every time I see it. It's just so fucking great. It's so great. I love it. I want to do a retrospective on why I still find this movie a fucking classic and why it should be seen by kids and adults, more adults than anything. Because I think this will speak a lot more to adults, because a lot of adults find Christmas as a job. And I think they take jobs and liberties more than they do people. So, yeah, it's more of a Christmas movie for adults, because I don't know how many children are going to get into the talking of generational values, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, but God damn it. It came out perfectly for a time for me. And this was at a time where I was just kind of writing off animated films, and yeah, it's I don't know. It brought me back. It brought me back to when I was a kid, and I used to love watching Christmas movies in general. I love watching Christmas specials, and it's one of the few ones as an adult that I can watch, and I learn something from it every time. So. Yeah, I do love this movie. I do love it, and I recommend for anybody to see it. I can't think of a really flaw. I can't really think of any flaw that I would really give this movie. I mean, sometimes the animation models look weird, but I don't blame Armin for tackling their first I think this is their first 3D project. I don't blame them for doing that. So
yeah,
that gets a fucking pass from me. I don't give a shit. The charm is way too much there for me to actually care, and it's good enough. The animation's good enough for me to worry about any of that stuff. So yeah.
So do you want to give a rating?
There's no minute wasted, in my opinion, in this movie. No minute at all wasted. I could watch this movie for fucking ever and never get so fucking tired of it. Which is going to be rare for me to actually give this movie a high enough ranking as it is. But my god, it's so fucking good. Yeah, it's so good to me. It's a oh my god, it's a 10 out of 10 movie for me.
Well, that's great.
I can't help it. It's a 10 out of 10 movie for me. It just hits my right buttons. This might be probably not my favorite, but probably top 3 easily.
Christmas movies?
Yeah, Christmas movies or specials I've ever seen.
That's good. For me, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I feel like it's a pretty solid film.
And you're well, you said too much already.
And at this point, I do enjoy it and stuff. I'm glad you actually showed me it. I'm just I feel like you have more of the passion for it than me, but it's still a good film. I don't give that. I give it credit. It's
because
actually a really good film.
Santa, another Santa film. We all know Santa's not real, and I'm just yeah, it kind of makes me want to make believe again that Santa is real. Maybe he is real. Maybe he does come in that night and sneak into my house without permission. Maybe he is real. Maybe.
But yeah, it's one of those films that I definitely do recommend I think it's a good, solid film kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, well, that's really the end of the podcast for today. Thank you guys for watching, and please be on the lookout for our next 2 episodes, and then we'll be doing the end of the year podcast once Christmas is over with. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we're out.